Okay, now it's working.
What follows light and shadow is silence.
Okay.
And silence breaks. I am summoning you as a new age begins.
Alright, let's get it.
I see sapient life turn to each other. They remember how to look to the stars. They remember curiosity. They remember how to thrive. But they have forgotten. They forgot we were here long before the Traveler. They forgot that they need us. But they are fated to remember. I will remind them. I'm sure you will, but not through me. Find someone else.
What the hell? The Guardian? Who is this?
My will is my own.
Huh? So one of the 9, so the 9 are old Guardians? Alright, yeah, I got some explaining to do.
All right, everyone, hello and welcome here to Bungie HQ in beautiful Bellevue, Washington. We have got an amazing stream lined up for you to tell you a little bit about the Edge of Fate, an amazing stream, the future of Destiny 2 as well. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here, but no need to worry. As always, I am joined by some of my amazing colleagues here at Bungie to share some of the finer details of the stuff that we're going to be getting into today. So, how about we go ahead and get into it so we can show you what we got. Starting first with this gentleman on my right and to your left is someone that you've probably seen if you've tuned into our streams before or Vidocs, the one and only Mr. Robbie Stevens, Assistant Game Director here at Bungie. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Andy. It's always a pleasure to spend a day with you.
Over,
yeah, it's been a nice time, honestly, hasn't it?
Yeah,
well, to that end as well, for anyone that doesn't get to hang out as much as we do, can you tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the creative and game directors for the game, so that means like I'm a vision holder and I work across the entire Destiny team with people like Allison and Dylan on the couch here to chart a new course for Destiny and a new future for the game, and just incredibly excited to be sharing with everyone today of what we've been up to.
Yeah, can't wait. We've got a big show ahead, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, as we move, pardon me, right on down the line, someone who again has also had the good opportunity to join us on these streams as well, and is now firing some finger guns like a pro. Destiny's narrative director, the one and only Allison Lures. Allison,
hello.
how's it going?
It's going so good. I'm here on a couch and I get to yell about Destiny with you. So it's a good day.
Yeah, honestly, I'll take that anytime I can. Well,
Same.
for anyone who also hasn't had a chance to yell on couches about Destiny with us or hasn't joined us in the past, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Allison. I'm the narrative director for Destiny 2, and so that means it's the job of me and my team to make you laugh and make you cry and make you go, whoa, I totally forgot about this thing from 8 years ago. How did they remember? It's because we're good at our jobs.
It's true.
So there you go.
As someone who gets to sit in on the writers' rooms, I can now doubly confirm that. So thank you for being
having you
here.
there.
So much fun. No, seriously, thank you so much. And of course, as we move right on down the line, the gentleman there at the very end of the couch, someone who is a friend to all Guardian kind, who's known far and wide, a member of the Destiny Global Comms team here at Bungie, Mr. Dylan Gaffner. How's it going, Dylan?
It's going well. How are you, Andy?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for
Gotta make sure to ask every time.
I appreciate it. You need all the help I can get. Well, to anyone out there who may not have accosted you on the wild world of social media or is just somehow meeting you for the first time, do you mind telling us about what you do here at Bungie?
My name is Dylan Gaffner, formerly community team, where we would go out, collect your feedback, translate it to the dev team, and then bring their information back to you, kind of be that middleman. Now I'm on Global Comms, so I'm going to be in more of like a puzzle piece organization stage of what do we talk about, when do we talk about it, why do we talk about it, and then just making sure we get the information out to all players.
Yeah, well, we all appreciate it. Thank you for always being the voice of the player inside our hallowed halls. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, now that we've kind of got the intros out of the way, let's talk about our new saga. Robbie, I'd love to start with you. What's up next in Destiny, and where are we exploring?
Yeah, so our first expansion this year, The Edge of Fate, is the start of a brand new multi-year saga called the Fate Saga. And so we want to tell a story about something older, about the nature of fate itself. Are we bound by it? Can we fight it? Because before the Traveler ever arrived in our solar system, there was already space magic here, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so ultimately, this is a story that we're going to explore one of Destiny's biggest mysteries and the foundations of the universe itself.
You're talking about the 9, aren't you?
Who
Yeah.
told you?
I think it's
Subtle,
How did
I
you
know.
guess?
yeah.
Tips you off.
We did such a good job with this secret.
Really buried that lead, didn't we?
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's, but I mean, to that end, so who and maybe more appropriately, what are the 9?
Yeah, so buckle up. In the simplest description possible, the 9 are extraordinarily powerful beings that have been in the solar system for way, 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 way longer than the Traveler. We can think of them as being kind of connected to each of the major celestial bodies in Sol. So that's each of our 8 planets plus the Sun. Sorry, Pluto.
It's messed up.
Didn't make the cut.
All right, fair.
I don't make the rules. Yeah, there you go. But the important thing to know about them is that this is why we're going to be so focused on the solar system for the next saga. We want to ask questions about our home that we've never asked before.
Yeah. So when it comes to the 9, obviously, Eagle-Eyed Guardians have been able to spot references to them for quite some time, whether it be outright ominous or a straight-up game show in some cases. Can you tell us a little bit maybe about what we should expect from them?
Expect to be surprised. We're, like you said, the lore of the 9 really ranges from like Star Horse infinitely neighing to the 9 doing genuinely awful, awful things in our lore. And so the important thing to know about them is that the 9 are individuals. This isn't a collective. It's not like a hive mind. Each of them are kind of their own being, their own person in the loose definition of a person. They have different wants and desires. They can ally with different members and fight with different members too. In the words of one of our characters really early on, there are aliens, and then there's aliens, and then there are aliens, and that latter one is what the 9 are qualified as.
Fair enough. All right, so beings of obviously immense power, something that the Guardians have gone toe-to-toe with in the past. We've even faced off against the very embodiment of the darkness itself.
Yeah.
What could be tougher than that?
Yeah, so this is something that we think about a lot about, because ultimately the 9 seek to free themselves at no matter the cost to humanity. And because they're extra dimensional in the ways that Allison are describing, they're not bound by the same rules that we are, that we've really experienced before in the game today. And so humanity and the Guardians, to many of them, are ultimately just bugs that can be squashed on, that they don't really care or think about beyond achieving their ultimate goals. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the last 10 years, Guardians have really just been making their own fate.
Yeah.
I mean, so the 9 is challenging that. How are we going to deal with it?
Yeah, whether we like it or not, the 9 have a plan for us. And like you said, Guardians are really good at making their own fate and going out and deciding who they want to be. But what happens when them deciding to make our own fate is exactly what our fate is? Like, what if that was the plan all along? These are extra-dimensional beings. That means they perceive our reality in a very different way and can interact with it in a very different way.
It's like they're a move ahead in chess.
Weird.
What a reference. But you were mentioning, obviously, the Fate Saga is one of the subjects of today. How long can we expect the Fate Saga to last?
Yeah, so the Fate Saga is going to play out over several years, and ultimately, we know where we're driving this car. We know where we're going with it. But the conclusion of the Edge of Fate itself is going to leave you with more questions than answers, and it's going to be the catalyst into this new multi-year saga. Because we really want to return Destiny to being a game about big questions, right? And so the way we think about this is about pouring jet fuel into the speculation engine of the game. So we're going to be revealing a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts, and many of them we're not going to be answering immediately, because we're going to be telling the story over multiple expansions, and we're going to be giving you those expansion beats more times than we have before in the past. And so the Year of Prophecy kicks off with the Fate Saga, and with it, humanity is now set on a collision course with this celestial pantheon of the system that has been here for a very, very long time. And so the Edge of Fate launches on July 15th, and then the second expansion of our Year of Prophecy is Renegade, which comes this winter, and then later in 2026 we've got Shattered Cycle and The Alchemist. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of exciting beats. And so again, the Edge of Fate is just the beginning of this long journey of this awesome vehicle we're all jumping into and driving together, and it's going to take us to some new places.
That's exciting. So with regards to the Edge of Fate right here in front of us, you were also nice enough to bring the class something today. You've got some gameplay with you, right?
Oh yeah, we got some clips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we should show those off.
It's a doozy.
Let's check it
Like
out.
the present. Let's check it out.
Okay. Oh, Chicago.
Observe.
We're here.
Connect. Conceal. Guardian, I had a vision. Conform. Comply. Return. They just wanted to show us disasters. Observe. Connect. Conceal. I'm not human anymore. Return. Conform. Comply. No one else should know what this feels like. Enough. Terminate your suspicion, Commander. Remove your scornful blindfold.
Got the old pistol.
Observe. Connect. Conceal.
Oh, what the fuck was that? A new super? Or a new super thing? Who the fuck is that? That's some random dude.
All right, that gives us an awful lot to go ahead and continue to dive into. And here to help us go ahead and explore a little bit more of it, everyone,
God,
you probably
he's
knows we've been joined by someone new here on the couch. We are privileged to be joined by someone who's the originator of perhaps my favorite all-time Destiny emote, the one and only Dave Samuel, art director here at Bungie. Dave, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For anyone who maybe for some reason somehow doesn't have that emote in their collection or hasn't seen you in a past Vidoc, do you mind telling us a little bit about what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, I'm art director on Edge of Fate. I work with the art team to visualize the narrative and design and kind of bring it all together.
It's a lot to bring together. Thank you very much for being here today. Yeah. So with the Edge of Fate, it's obviously the first expansion in the Fate saga. Allison, I'd love to start with you, actually. What can you tell us about the Edge of Fate?
The Edge of Fate begins with an invitation, and we are invited along with a very specific group of people to a location, to a moment in time for a very specific reason.
Very specific purpose.
Very specific reason and purpose, yes. And the place that we're going to is called Kepler. And so you may be saying, now Allison, hold your horses 1 second,
Yeah.
because the Kepler I know is the one that's way outside of our galaxy. What do you mean we're going to Kepler? And I say, like, dear friend, didn't you know if you look inside in Destiny's universe, the Oort cloud at the edge of the solar system, you'll find a little planetoid that also happens to be named Kepler here in the world of Destiny. And that's where we're going, to Kepler.
Super exciting. And this is kind of a, Robbie, we were talking kind of before the show, this is like like a first taste of something new, right?
Yeah, so what you're seeing here is us just trying something new. We're expanding the universe of Destiny, creating new mysteries to uncover. This whole destination is about exploring a labyrinthian world that took inspirations from things like Dreaming City, exotic missions, dungeons, and it's wrapping it all through a Metroidvania expired experience. And so at the heart of all of this, at the heart of the Edge of Fate, is a player-driven exploration and discovery of an exotic world with brand new abilities.
So actually to even just maybe dig a little bit deeper, like how is the Edge of Fate going to be different from past expansions that we've made for Destiny?
Yeah, so at the global scale, when we're thinking about expansions in the Year of Prophecy and the formula of Destiny expansions going forward, first off, we're doing 2 expansions a year instead of just 1. And think of each of these expansions as a little bigger than something like a Rise of Iron from D1. And so both of these expansions combined are going to be even more expansion content than we've done in the past. And by delivering 2 of these a year, we're upping the pace of major world and story events that really matter to players and are going to be pushing the Fate saga forward. And so we're trying radical new things with each of these expansions. And so alongside this new destination of Kepler, this exotic world that players will explore with brand new abilities, we also have world tiers. And world tiers allow you to take on a higher level of challenge on the destination in order to attract some of the best loot within the release. But what's cool about world tiers is as you play through the mainline story and you play through the first couple of world tiers, you're going to unlock later world tiers. And as you're claiming these abilities, as you're exploring the world more, as you're discovering more within the release, you're putting these puzzle pieces together and you're figuring out how to solve all the mysteries on Kepler with different ways. And so you might play a puzzle in one way, a mission in one way, and when you're in these higher world tiers in the post game, you can start to solve these problems in different ways that you couldn't before in the original playthrough. And so alongside all of this, we're also going to have a ton of quest content that we're rethinking about how we use within the game. And so on Kepler, there's some non-linearity within the destination itself. And so with a lot of our side quest content that is related to the critical path, but you don't have to play it. It's there for you to explore. It's driven by your discovery of the world. You're out in the field, you discover something and you pick it up, and that's going to help you explore the characters in the world of Kepler more and go deeper on that story. And so, yeah, again, this is all about us just looking at the formulas that we've been building in Destiny over the last 10 years. And some of them are really strong, but they're due for some experimentation and some radical changes. And so that's what you're seeing here with the first taste of the Edge of Fate.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love everything you just said. I was a little distracted by some of the gameplay we were showing, like exotic sniper rifle, I think I saw, kind of recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
Some enemies with a couple really cool twists, like, okay.
Yeah.
But then also there was a Guardian that turned into like a lightning ball. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so there's multiple new abilities that your players are going to be able to discover on Kepler that's going to make them navigate and look at the world in different ways. But the one you're talking about, Dylan, we see it as our premier ability, the crown jewel of the release, and that's called Matterspark. And Dave has joined us, and he's helps us take the vision of the narrative and the design and the art and smush it together in amazing experiences. And so I think Dave should talk to us more about that.
That don't smell too good to me, bro.
So there's this new source of energy on Kepler, this strange dark matter. So the Guardian binds itself to the dark matter using the arc powers within. You can think of the dark matter as like a medium, and the arc as this catalyst that will allow you to completely change form. Transforming into Matterspark lets you squeeze into tight areas, race around areas, jump over stuff, and it also allows you to turn into this basically electric rolling ball of death, jolting and shocking enemies that come across your path.
So obviously, one big part movement, one big part combat, but I mean, even just in addition to that, to look a little bit, wider, how did the Matterspark Ball kind of influence the world that we're going to be inhabiting?
Yeah, the team really had to rethink what it means to build a destination with these abilities in mind. A simple hill becomes a ramp to get to a new space. A crack in the wall, it basically will reveal a whole new area to explore. It's also a new way to engage with enemies. Instead of taking a bunch of enemies head on, you can find a Matterspark pad, transform, turn into this electric ball of death, and then just start racing around the arena, dash over their heads, and flank from behind.
He did this last time
and
with
then,
the
really
new arc abilities.
give the House of Exile on Kepler a bad day.
As well we should. It's a good day for us as well. So what are some of the other Kepler abilities that we'll be able to unlock while we're out there as well?
Yeah, so each of these Kepler abilities are a mix of dark matter and our Guardian's powers. So we have the Relocator Cannon, which is this new fallen
stand on my hill and die on my hill. Destiny
mixed with Void.
a battle royale
this is going to
mode.
allow you to bypass laser walls,
So we either
use
our
these
characters,
cascading
or we use
relay
characters
networks,
like Cade,
and
like
just
Korra,
basically teleport around the world. Another
Zavala,
ability that
some
we
of the
have
characters
is
from the Golden Age.
Mattermorph.
We needed
This is
a game
dark
mode like
matter
that
mixed with
because
Strand,
that would have been
allows you
able
to
to
manipulate the
give people
environment. You'll be able
a way
to
to play the
basically
game without
push and
having to
morph
play
and
the
move
game. That's the problem with
geometry to
Destiny.
create bridges,
To play
open up
Destiny, you
doorways,
have to
and
fully
then also reveal
immerse
secrets
yourself
and new
into
opportunities.
Destiny.
Yeah, so what's really important about
And
what
it's
Dave is
just too
describing, and when we were
much,
thinking about
especially
building
with
this
all
world,
of the
it was all about here's this
content
new
that the
tool
game
to
has
navigate
and
and
that
see the
they
world in a different way and solve
don't make it
little
really
puzzles and
easy and
mysteries
accessible to
throughout the
players.
missions,
There
the
needed to
free
be another
roam,
game
the
mode.
quest content, and
And I always
beyond.
said it
But
should be
also
a
what
battle
was really
royale
important
mode.
to us is that we lean
Or
into
Destiny needs to
Destiny's
turn into a
first
survival
class
game,
ability
and they're
gameplay.
not
And so
doing
with
it.
Matterspark, like Dave is
And I
mentioning,
don't
you're jumping, you're
understand
dashing into enemies to destroy
why
them.
we
You're doing
keep
giant
wasting
explosions with them with
resources
relocator
and
crane.
times
You're just
on
blowing everything up with
these
void explosions and
expansions
graviton
and
lance
all
style
this
like
other stuff, and it's just
projectile,
like, bro,
little
that's
secret
not what
projectiles. And
the
then what's
game
really fun
needs.
about
Like,
Metamorph
yeah, the
is
game
you can
needs,
just be like throwing these
story
strange
expansion and
shurikens
things to do,
basically
but
to just like delete an encounter before you then like
it
start
needs
to
another
morph the
game
environment
mode
around
inside
you
of the
and
game,
move to the
not
next area.
PvP.
And so
Like, people
it's just really
like
exciting
PvP, but
I'm
people don't
incredibly
like
excited
playing
about watching
PvP.
players
But people
just
would
like
play
solve puzzles and
battle
fight
royale
encounters in ways that
Destiny
like we
if
don't
they could
even
play
expect
their other
yet and see
characters,
how
if
they
they could
take
play
on the
other
destination.
characters.
And just like I
Like,
want to
imagine
really
playing
want to emphasize,
Ikora,
you're going to be
playing all this
upgrading
other
these,
stuff.
and when you
That's
get
why
into
hero
especially the
shooters are so
post-game
fun.
experience, it's going to
And
unlock.
Destiny
There's something
at its
unlocked
core
with
is
the
a
Matter
hero
Square
shooter,
that really changes the way that you can play through the entire
but
destination.
your only hero is your guardian.
So when we're talking about
And
Dark Matter,
making a new game mode
Matter.
like that would
Yes.
we
make the
have
game so
darkness
much more
abilities like
alive,
Strand
bro. I
and
don't
Stasis
know why they
already.
just
Like,
won't do
how
it.
is Dark Matter different?
Yeah, so Dark Matter and Darkness are two completely
I don't know why
separate
they won't
things.
do
They're
it.
completely different things. But Dark Matter does exist
Problem with
in
these
our
devs,
world.
man, they think they know
In the world of
everything,
Destiny,
and
we know it
they
as
don't.
being
They're not like
tightly
even
connected to the Nine. It's
like
what the Nine are
connected
actually
to their
made
own
out of.
game, their own community.
In our world, Dark Matter is invisible. You can't really see it, and it wouldn't be very fun to make a destination where there's an invisible thing that you can't actually see. So lucky for us on Kepler, there's a bioluminescent microbe.
Imagine
that allows
having
us to
a
see
battle royale
this-
mode
this
game,
substance, that's impacted this world so much. It
and
allows
the
us to
seasons
see
are like
how it's
Apex,
impacted the plant
and
life, how it's impacted
the
behavior
seasons
of
go
the
through the
peoples
golden
that we're going
age.
to
So
encounter.
then we're getting
And
lore
we
from the
can
golden
see
age.
how
We're
it has been able to
seeing the
bring these
landscapes
things
and
that
like
are
some of
kind
the
of
battles
unstuck
happening
in
on in the
time
background. And you
into
can make
its
it a
current location.
PvE
put on
and a
my booster hat
PvP
for
game
just a
mode,
second.
to where it's just like, oh, you guys want to go in
does it
and
smell like? What does it
experience a
taste
battle
like?
from the golden age with your
Dark Matter,
team?
smells and
Boom,
tastes like
do it.
bleach and math.
If you guys want to play on the map
Cannot wait to get that chip flavor.
in a battle royale
See
mode,
what's there.
do
It's
it.
zesty.
Yeah, it's really good. Actually, so on the topic too of stuff in the trailer as well, we heard someone talking there. Can you tell us who that was?
Sure, that was Lodi. Lodi is a new character that we're introducing in Apollo.
Lodi. Who the fuck is this dude, bro?
I
Not you
want to
just-
give a special shout out to Brian Villalobos, who portrays Lodi and does a spectacular job. This character is fascinating. He's kind of a fish out of water, but the fun thing about tropes is to kind of put a twist on them, right? So what if that fish that we pulled out of the water was the most qualified fish to be pulled out into the air?
Down for anything.
It's down for anything. And
Yeah.
what if that fish was kind of made to be pulled out of the water? I don't want to give away too much because this character is way more fun for the players to figure out what his deal is. But I will say that Lodi is very, very far from home.
Very fair, very exciting. So,
I do have to call out too, before we started this, you and Robbie were talking about how Lodi is like a notice me character.
Oh yeah, yeah. Robbie wanted a senpai.
I did. Yeah, I wanted someone that I just wanted to spend a bunch of
Yeah.
time with on this new adventure we're going on.
Yeah, a friend that we can look up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, yeah, notice me.
Notice
Notice
me.
me.
Yeah, of course,
He
it
will,
writes
he will.
itself, or rather, Allison does. So, with regards to the characters as well, so is it a whole new cast of characters in the Edge of Fate?
No, we're going to see some new faces like Lodi and other characters, but we're also going to see some familiar ones too. Ikora is here. The stakes are high enough that she's here investigating what's going on. And as it turns out, in one of our major mysteries, she's kind of at the center of it. She was invited here, as was Lodi, same as we were. All of it's kind of tied together.
Very exciting. So,
Yeah, the way, oh, if I can,
No, no,
yeah,
please.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
please,
like
yeah.
the way we think about this is about all these characters, their fates are intertwined in some
Yes.
way. There's these puppet masters that have been pulling the strings for a very, very long time in order for everyone to get here at this moment. And so as a guardian and these characters involved, they're gonna have to decide if they're fight your fate. Like that's what we think about. For these individuals, that's what they're gonna have to go through and determine about how they can stand up to this new conflict that is surrounded by the Nine, because they are fated to be here. And what does that mean for them, and what does that mean for their future and the future of Soul itself?
So with regard to these new characters and this world we find ourselves in, was there anything about that setting, or in particular, that really influenced the creation, rather, of this world?
Bunch
that
of
we're
marathon
inhabiting?
Yeah, I'll give
stickers
you a
on his
list of fun
laptop.
facts. First off, if you've been paying attention to Destiny over the last week or so, you
We
already
haven't.
know that there's been people on Kepler for a long time. That's an old-ass computer that you were putting those numbers into. We also know that the Vex are here. They're studying the Nine because it turns out the Nine can do something that the Vex can't. As Dave mentioned, the House of Exile are also here. They've become fixated on a being that they call the Giver. And kind of most importantly, the dimensionality on Kepler is really thin. So the 3 dimensions that we can know and see and touch are very close to the realm that the 9 live in. And that means some things from Earth's past have been yanked into Kepler's present.
Exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so we've been talking about invitations throughout this, and we need to call out an invitation that's actually going to be waiting in the game after this is over. Ride of the 9 begins today.
Yeah.
So I believe we have a trailer to show.
Yeah, you were nice enough to bring a trailer along. I'll go ahead and give it a look really quickly.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let me watch it again.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so we've been talking about invitations.
Nice enough to bring
explore a dungeon by yourself or go in match made with other fire team members shoulder to shoulder for the very first time. But don't worry, because we also have that higher level challenge for our veteran, our hardcore dungeon crawlers, where you're going to be able to earn the best possible loot, exclusive rewards, and also an exclusive title as part of Rights of the 9. What's also really important about this event for being a prologue for the Edge of Fate is that it really reintroduces the emissary into the game, and you're going to learn why her job is pretty crappy and why she quits at the top of the Edge of Fate, like we saw at the beginning of this show. And so, Andy, we've been talking a bunch about how our Destiny expansions are changing the formula for Destiny going forward. So now I think it's time for us to start talking about how the core hobby of Destiny is changing going forward. The day-to-day of playing Destiny, week over week experience. And we've got someone else on the couch here to help us talk about that.
We have an expert in that very subject now who's gone ahead and joined us on the couch. We are now joined by the one and only Mr. Ben Womack, creative director here on Destiny. Ben, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there is a lot. Yeah, it's going to be a very good conversation we have coming up. Yes. But before we get into that, can you tell us just a little bit about what you do here?
Yeah. So I'm the Destiny 2 creative director for the core game, or the core hobby.
Yeah.
So why do we not have the Battle Royale mode yet?
With all parts of the game.
Battle Royale mode or survival extraction mode, that is what Destiny is all about. Why do we not have that?
The kind of building blocks of Destiny 2 and getting those not only stood up but also transformed and iterated on in some really exciting new places.
Nice. Well, let's go ahead and just start at the top. Can you tell us a little bit about what the core formula of Destiny is changing and why?
Yes. So I think we need to start with the why first, because it's important to think about what is Destiny, what is great about Destiny. And Destiny is best when you have awesome chases that you're excited about, you have really cool, powerful builds to make, and there's a mountain to climb that's right in front of you that you want to climb. You're like, I want that mountain. It looks pretty cool. And the thing that is not always true right now in Destiny is it doesn't feel streamlined as it could. Players don't have as much agency. We want to be player-driven. We want to be more rewarding than we are. Because right now there are barriers to playing Destiny in the best way. And those barriers are insurmountable sometimes. So think about that whole picture of, okay, what is the Destiny that we really want, that has been in the past, that we also want to get back to, and where we want to go for the future? That's where all the changes you're going to see have started, at their inception point. So it's a big piece of the pie.
Massive updates coming across so many systems of the game, and we're just getting in, digging into the surface.
Yeah. I mean, to that
you guys always say that, and then nothing ever changes.
It easier, pardon me, to go ahead and just get straight into the fun.
Oh no, let's do it, because that's exactly what we want to do. And the first thing you're going to see when you log into Destiny with Edge of Fate, you're going to see
a new UI.
Your ship in orbit is going to say, it's not going to say Open Director, it's going to say Open Portal. And the portal is our new front page of the game. We're trying to like get you to the fun as fast as possible and as few clicks as we can. Like we even
So
even have Edge of Fate
predictable,
there in the
bro.
corner, so that it's like right immediately there, no fumbling around with the map to get to it really. And we're also taking other big parts of the game, the ritual game and for seasons, and putting them into these ops categories. So the idea is that we're having these different ops for different moods. We're having solo ops. Or have a bunch of fire team ops, we have pinnacle ops, and of course we have crucible ops, still super important for the game.
Yeah. I mean, to start up at the top, can you tell us a little bit more about what solo ops?
Oh yeah,
Crucible will be good if you turn it into a battle
exactly
royale
what it says on
mode.
the tin. It is a bunch of activities that are made for solo players, and the conception point of that was we want to make activities for players who have a smaller amount of time that they want to play in, and they don't necessarily want to have like dependencies on other players, but they still want to get in there and play for 10 to 15 minutes and get some real progress.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah.
Get some loot and get your character forward and feel like, yeah, no, I played some Destiny and that was great. And even if you don't feel like playing with other people, that's fine, because we have an activity type that is designed for one player.
Excellent. So, I mean, to that same end, what are some other ways that we can play and have fun using Portal as well?
Yeah, so Robbie actually has a great way of talking about this. So.
Yeah, some of the North Star that is what we talk about when we were developing the Portal early on was like, where are we headed with this thing? And ultimately, it's play your way. It's giving players more agency, more personal drive to figure out how they want to engage with the power climb and the new progression systems coming and our seasons. And so the entirety new progression and power climb is now all available to you in the portal at your fingertips in one place. It's really easy to find, really easy to jump in. Anything you play inside of that category is any of those categories is gonna help you make progress. And so, because we want Destiny to be welcoming not only to new players, but also old players who are coming back to the game to join us with the Edge of Fate. And we also want this to be like a new even playing field for everyone. And so, as part of this is a commitment from us as part of the core hobby and all the seasonal content we're building, that we're going to be continually investing in this, right? We're going to be continually updating this over time for years to come. And so, you're asking me directly, like, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
Ben mentioned solo ops. We also have the fire team ops and pinnacle ops. Both of these are more around playing with other fire team members, shoulder to shoulder, where fire team ops are more quicker sessions. There are some longer form things in it too, but then pinnacle ops are more about those really long form or more challenging kind of focused activities like exotic missions, for instance. And so, and then the one thing we haven't talked about yet very deeply, but is incredibly important, and it's something that I think we've done for the first time like ever, or maybe since early D1.
It's kind of a return to form.
Yeah. You're going to be able to experience the entirety of the power climb within Crucible Ops by playing PvP, right? So this means like, if you want to be sweaty, Andy, which like I know you, Dylan too. I know you're that way, right? Like I know both of y'all. Like if you want to put those sweatbands on, you're going to be able to play the entire experience in the season here and earn some of the highest tier loot that's also available in the game. So,
I have to say, this is like super exciting because like
Boring.
my player type or other folks out in the community, like they want to
Boring.
they want to jam on PvP, but then
Doesn't-
invite them to do a dungeon or a higher.
Doesn't
tier,
change the
like,
needle on
I need to grind
anything.
a long time
This
to
is
get
not
power.
doing
No,
anything to
through
the game.
PvP,
This
you
is
can get
literally
power and you can just
nothing.
bring them into that PvE experience and have a fun time with each other.
Yeah.
So.
You've always been able to
So
do
really
that.
Looking forward to that.
What are they
so it sounds like
talking
the
about?
core,
What the
obviously,
fuck
for
is
you is
this?
Play the way you want to play. It's at the center of all of it. What if I really want to challenge myself, push myself?
oh yeah,
a little bit more?
it's important to us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Destiny's so
But also
disappointing,
success.
man.
Yes.
It's so sad what they did to this
True.
game, man.
So we really want to give agency. That's one of the
They
things
keep saying
player
agency. There's
player-driven
nothing to
games
be
with
agent
challenges. So we have
about
a
in this
really
game.
hugely
There's
expanded
even a
activity
freaking
customization
phrase
system.
that's supposed to be
We
used
have
there.
a lot more difficulty levels, and we have a ton of new modifiers. We have 50 new modifiers along with all the old modifiers that we've released in the past that are going to make this big curated web of options for you to experience any of the PvE content in the curator. And so, like, we have Banes, not just old Banes that we have, but new Banes as well. We also have boons to help you like get advantages in your activities and for your build. We have challenges and trade-offs. And the fun part is you're going to get these different combinations that are available, and you're going to then make a mix that's actually going to change the way you play and be pretty interesting, and sometimes be the way you prefer you play.
Oh,
like, there's
boy.
a boon called Grappler that I personally love. It's kind of my preferred way to play, where they give you 3 grapple grenades replacing your current grenade. You can't do the melee, but they recharge super fast. So any build you want, you could now Spider-Man around any map It's actually super fun.
It's so fun. Yeah, I mean, like, what's at the heart of what Ben is talking about is what we kind of call the virtuous cycle, right? Where you're going to be crafting your build, tinkering with the activity, looking at like how you can earn a higher tier of reward by taking on higher challenge. And as you earn better loot, you're looking towards that next mountain to climb just ahead of you all the time. And so this is really about how far you want to push yourself upwards within the portal itself. But also, we also are thinking about the people, and that's the depth, right? That's the depth of the challenge that we're talking about. That's also, but we're also thinking about the people who don't have as much time to play with like solo ops, and also if you're scared of modifiers or you're scared of customizing these activities.
Or you just don't feel like
doing it. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Thank you. We have a bunch of quick play options, right, Ben?
Yeah, quick play options, and we actually have matchmaking and Fireteam ops.
Oh,
and we have Fireteam Finder, and so you're able to like really choose kind of what you're in the mood for.
Oh yeah, we technically have matchmaking across every activity that exists.
Except for solo ops, because that's solo.
Right,
But yes, otherwise,
but in the
aside
Fireteams
from
and
that
Pinnacle
one.
Ops, it's everything.
Yeah, you'll have options to play by yourself or with other people. Oh, actually, a really fun part is you can play a strike by yourself as hard as you want it to
That's
now,
true, yeah,
which is really fun. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about like all the different boons and combinations. I think at one point you were saying around 50 or something like that. Those
50 new ones.
50 new ones.
Yeah.
So it's like you can take those into solo ops. Like we're talking about this being kind of leisurely, bite-sized activity, but if you want to take it and say, I don't want Weenie Hut Jr., I want like esoteric level solo hardest thing in the world, like you can kind of customize and do that.
You can just do it from the very start if you really want to.
Yeah.
And
Depends on how deep you want to go.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, and the point is that you're going to like stretch that far, and we want the reward to feel like worthwhile.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, you want to feel like as you're pushing yourself, you are rewarded for it. That is something that's really important to the vision here for the portal. Yeah.
Rewards, huh?
It
there are a lot of
won't.
rewards, aren't there?
It's funny you mentioned None of this will.
Veins, boons, modifiers, but let's talk about gear for a little bit here.
Bro, this shit won't matter unless there's like 1,000 new items to get.
You know, chases and
A
mountains
bunch of
and
new
builds, like,
weapons,
here's
a bunch of new perks and stuff. Like none of
we
this
actually have
matters.
two giant
Because
gear
if there's
tables
only
I'm gonna, like, put in
50
two
weapons
for us to
and
talk about. The first one is
50
Armor
equipment
3.0.
to get, then
And
it
the
won't
next one
matter to
is gear
do all
tiers.
this hard
And
stuff.
so, like,
Hard
talking about
stuff.
Armor 3.0 first, we are probably making the biggest change ever since.
The only way that makes sense is if you take away fucking dungeons
Yeah, so like we're
in the
adding
game.
set bonuses, which is a long
The secret
constant
dungeon. That's the only way it makes sense.
for
The
all
where
new
you
armor
were
that
able
you're
to
gonna be able to
get your
different
armor and
launch.
stuff, your
And
exotics
we're
from.
redoing all the stats on armor. Where they can now like exceed 100.
Oh my god,
Go
now they're
beyond 100
redoing
for extra
redoing
bonuses.
stats.
Yep.
We're going to every single piece of new legendary armor that drops is going to have all the energy filled in, so you can build crafting right away, and it's going to
That's
essentially
good.
like. There's more features actually that I could talk about, but I don't think I'm allowed to yet.
Fair. Well, something that we can talk about too. You mentioned gear tiers as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so gear tiers are very exciting because every single legendary weapon and armor that you can get is going to have 5 gear tiers, starting from 1 going up to 5. And like we have a 5 gear tier 5 piece of legs armor on the screen right now, and you can see that like this is like looks really cool with iconography, but it also has a ton more stats. And oh look, what's that?
Yeah, what's going on with the energy there?
Yeah, the energy.
Ben?
Yeah, the energy says 11, and it's true.
11, yep.
It's not a typo. Like energy is going to 11 for higher tier armor, and so if you want that for your build crafting opportunities, it does like give you some new options you never had before. You're gonna have to challenge yourself to get more higher tier armor and keep on going to get yet more higher tier armor to get those options.
Yeah, and this is also not something that's just relegated to armor, right? When it comes to weapons, they're obviously getting their own refresh as well.
Yes.
I mean, what's Destiny without chasing some?
You read my mind.
Yeah, like weapons
seriously.
are part of the player identity. You know, some people like have a gun that they love.
You
and
got fashion, and then you have gunplay.
that's
right?
true, though we do have fashion for your guns a bit now.
Hey.
Okay.
Well, so because
What are we doing
once
with
you
the
reach
guns
tier
now?
5 for your legendary drops, you're going to be getting tier 5 weapons, and those have unique shader treatment. It's like essentially a completely different look that's going to immediately identify it to you and others that this is the highest tier gear of this drop that you can get. It's going to show on the weapon. It's going to show on the icon. It's even going to show when you kill enemies with that weapon, because there's unique kill effects for tier 5 weapons that you can turn on or off if you don't want it, but your gameplay will like show that no, yeah, the weapon that is being used is like the highest tier.
I'm looking for the
Giver's Blessing,
tier
which I think we're on screen
changing.
right now. This is one of the Kepler auto rifles, and I cannot put this thing down.
it's so good.
Yeah, when we're playing through the Edge of Fate right now, And it's what's really exciting about it for me is that like when you see that tier 5 drop, like you know immediately that's better than like a tier 3 or tier 4 weapon that you have, right? And I think that's when we talk about making Destiny easier to just jump in, find the fun, make it accessible, but also create more depth. You know, this is what we're thinking about. It's like how can we just make immediate, like you understand, like okay, this is probably better than the thing I have right now, depending on what gear tier it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a.
But it would have to be in stats as well.
Being put into these game systems to make them more like.
It would have to be in the stats as well. The Gear 5 guns will have to have better stats in some way, faster reloader, more ammo, stability, all that stuff will have to be better, and it'll have to probably do more damage as well, like that.
We're gonna have a bunch of blog content. We're gonna have interviews with Robbie, with Ben, with more folks across the team that have been working on this, and then we'll also be elevating our creator community when they're creating guides, all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be a fun time, but. Ultimately, a big shout out and thank you to all the folks that have been coming into our studio, giving feedback early on some of these systems so they can be more approachable. And we're looking forward to all the feedback that's going to be coming after launch too. Like this is again one of our first steps into something, and then the community and we are going to build something amazing.
Y'all don't bring the right people, man. Y'all bring yes men into the. That's all y'all do. Y'all invite a bunch of streamers and stuff, and they're just embedded in you because that's their income. So they don't give a fuck about telling y'all the truth. Look at this shit. Dr. Looper and these dudes were testing Marathon for years, and Marathon launched, or not even launched, but had an alpha, and it was trash because they didn't tell them that it was trash.
In advance for the big blogs, you get to
any regular person would have told them, hey, yo, that's not it.
We'll go ahead and get out the door, so go ahead and give us a follow.
I think, Ben, you were saying you wanted to try to break the record for longest TWID?
I'm more predicting we are.
If anybody should be in there, it should be people like me telling them, hey, we need a battle royale mode or an extraction mode or this and that, because put the stakes higher, bro.
How does that extend into like how players are going to experience like a full year?
Imagine playing a battle royale mode and you win and you get like great loot, and you also rank up. And you also get like shaders and things that are locked behind that. Like, it'll be lit.
Focusing our seasons and on the core hobby of Destiny and that commitment to continually updating it. And in addition, we're going to have 2 free major updates between each of our major expansions coming in the year of prophecy.
Wonder what that is.
So ultimately, that means there's 4.
Shadow mode. It just looks like they're doing Rise of Iron and fucking
2 free major updates
Decade
between
one.
those expansions. So what that means we're not doing is paid seasonal content anymore. We're not doing separate seasonal storylines. And this also means we're not building a bunch of activity content that basically just goes away and is less meaningful to the game after 3 months. So we're instead focusing all of that effort that used to go there instead into building up the core hobby of the game so the core hobby stays fresh and exciting, year round. And so ultimately, this means no more paywalls for seasonal content, and also these major updates themselves that I'm signposting around right now. The size of them roughly and the inspiration for them we're thinking about is like Into the Light.
Okay. So when you say like Into the Light, for folks that aren't out there, like what for a major update, how big is that? Like how do you encapsulate that?
So when I say Into the Light, a lot of this is like the inspiration of what it was. And with Into the Light came a really cool theme that wrapped around all the new stuff we were building within it, but also a lot of the reprise stuff as well. And also, with it came Onslaught, a new type of activity. It came with reprised exotic missions.
Which was
and
trash.
Thinking of how we could do like a rad
Onslaught was trash, a waste of resource. It was trash. Nobody did that junk after the first week.
We've got Ash and Iron. Right? And so with Ash and Iron, we're going to be returning to the Plague Lands.
Returning to the Plague Lands, can't wait.
It's going to happen. Baby. And so that story is going to pick up from where we left off, from the Edge of Fate. And with it, we're going to have a new activity called Reclaim, a brand new exotic mission, new types of pinnacle ops entering that for the first time, as well as, of course, what's Destiny without loot to chase? We've got new gear, new rewards, and 2 new exotic weapons as part of Ash and Iron as well. And again, this major update and all the seasonal content going forward is free for all players. All the activity content that exists in the portal, that's free to play.
Very nice. So even to actually go one quick layer 2 deeper on seasons as well, what are some of the cool things that we're going to be able to do with the season that's launching alongside the Edge of Fate?
Yeah, Ben has been working on this space with the team for a while now, so I'm going to kick this one to him.
Yeah, so we're trying to make any time the best time to hop into Destiny. And one of the ways we want to do that is we want to invest in events that are like accelerating the game and enhancing every part of the game, but also bringing new cool stuff. And actually, we've been working on this so long, we actually have some new cool stuff coming before the Edge of Fate.
It's a special little treat.
Yeah, special little treat. So this Friday, you can play a little event, maybe you've heard of it, called Heavy Metal, which is Tanks vs. Briggs, a new PvP mode. It's super fun. I would kind of wish I was
Wow.
I'm not going to lie. But the thing that people at home don't know is we have a new reward. That's a unique thing in Destiny if you invest in this event, if you go and play it. And it is a free-to-play event. So this reward is free-to-play.
Thank you. Something new.
Vehicle that goes in your Sparrow sled, combat Sparrow, if you will. Called
Something new.
And this is a really cool, like, combat-ready vehicle you can take anywhere you can summon a Sparrow. You can summon it and use it to fight your enemies and just have a
Wow.
good time. And there's some really cool.
Now next do the fucking ships so then we can do something in space.
Vehicle that I don't want to spoil right now.
Or on the planet. Imagine fucking aerial battles with our ships.
Well, I mean, we've been saying like.
Now, I hope that the next thing you do is a battle royale mode. Please. We have all this space, all this stuff, all of these old assets. We can just use them and have a battle royale mode. Oh my gosh.
There's one that's going to happen right after the launch of Edge of Fate.
Please.
It's called Arms Week, and it's a one-week-long event, and you're going to be
Big team battles back.
one weapon archetype in Arms Week whenever it comes around. And this one is going to give you a new legendary.
Give us big team battles back. Take out fucking put in big team battles, and then when you put it in, it can be on certain days or times or whatever. You cancel out the rest of the fucking Crucible, and everybody has to play big team battles. It will be amazing. And just make sure that supers tie to kills. And if you ain't bodying it, you ain't getting your super in that.
We have a new feature, a long-requested feature that is being added to the game with Arms Week. It is the
What?
shooting range. And the shooting range is being added to the tower. It is a now.
Wow, we got a shooting range again.
Arms Week. We're not taking it away. And you can go there and you can.
Thanks for bringing this back.
Everything in your kit, everything about your build, with all sorts of simulations of different kinds of enemies and situations, and it's all real damage numbers. It's like
It's even got a scoreboard.
It's even got a scoreboard.
For you
right there.
and your fire team.
Yeah, your whole raid team can go down into the shooting range and try out, like, see exactly how well you're gonna do for some kind of boss at this range or with.
Say, yeah, who can do most of the damage, right?
Yeah, well, you're probably gonna know.
So we have a rally flag. It's not just a shooting range. Like you can go beyond the firing line and use your abilities too.
Yeah, you totally can. And like, if you wanted to, you could even take in Prismatic and pop Transcendence and try that out. And well, I think the reason why we're not seeing that right now is because it's a Titan.
Yeah, it's a good soldier.
Yeah.
Standing on that firing line.
Yeah, standing on the firing line.
All about building that line and standing.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of theory crafters are going to have to go ahead and have some upheavals to their Google Docs, I'm guessing.
This will be a really good tool. Like as we're adding all of these different systems with gear tiering and all of that, you can go in and check those damage numbers in real time. Like how do my stats change? How are these different gear bonuses going to affect my gameplay? You can see it in the tower now.
Yeah. And while we're talking about weapons.
Oh yeah,
well, one more thing, right?
Yeah, no, there's one more thing. Yeah. I'm excited. So there's more events. Of course, there's more events, and the holiday events are coming up. Where Solstice is right around the corner.
It's summertime, right?
It's summertime. Summertime is solstice time in Destiny 2, and Solstice has some really cool twists and such that we're planning. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. I want to show you the new hollow foil treatment we have for Solstice weapons. So here we go. This is the hollow foil treatment for Solstice in 2025. It is it's amazing every time I look at it.
Yeah.
It is an ocean and the line. Yeah, we put the ocean on a gun. How did we do that? It's beautiful. I love it. And any kind of weapon that drops for this event can have a hollow foil.
Yeah, so it could be tier 1 or tier 3. Yeah, any weapon can have a hollow foil.
Yeah, the tier 5 hollow foil.
Ooh.
Like that's gonna be a chase. Our other events will also have hollow foils.
Yeah, like Arms Week you're talking
about. Arms Week will have its own hollow foil treatment. Like every event, a major event we have, will have a hollow foil treatment. The holidays will have their own kind of special one, but yeah, Arms Week will have their hollow foil drops that you can farm as well.
Super exciting. No, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to have way too much stuff to chase down, so appreciate you guys putting all the hard work in, obviously, for that. But I believe we've got one more thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about, here are the free updates coming to Destiny, the portal, a bunch of different stuff, Edge of Fate, but we also have another expansion, and we need Allison back on the couch to talk about it.
Yeah, Allison.
She's the best one to talk to.
Yeah, we've got something very exciting, and so once again, Allison, thank you for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it.
Of course. I'm so excited to be the one more thing.
Yeah, it's a tradition around here, so we're glad that you could obviously go ahead and lead us into this one. But, as Dylan mentioned, we've talked about the Edge of Fate, but this is the first year we're going to be doing 2 expansions over the course of a year. can you tell us a little bit about Renegades?
Yeah, so we're going to have a dedicated reveal for Renegades in September alongside our major update, Ashen Iron. But earlier we were talking about how sometimes our formulas can constrain us from experimenting and innovating. And so in that spirit, Renegades is going to be very different from the Edge of Fate. What I can tell you, and we'll talk plenty about it later, is that we're going to be experimenting and innovating with activities, with social mechanics, and more. But more importantly, I want to talk about our inspiration. And so I have to kind of tee it up first. So Renegades is going to be a Destiny, like definitively Destiny expansion. This is part of the Fate saga, and it's going to push it forward in important ways and introduce characters that we're going to spend time with for years to come. It is an essential Fate saga story. And it's an homage to a universe that has inspired Bungie from the start. It's a universe that all of us here on the couch grew up with, as well as everyone else at the studio and millions of you back at home too. It is a peanut butter and combination, a peanut butter and like chocolate combination inside of what we're making that could only be possible in the kind of world that we build here. And so I am absolutely.
Are they talking about they're gonna
to
fucking mix it with Halo?
Renegades.
Let's take a look.
They're talking about Halo, bro. Oh god. Or no, this is fucking Star Wars. This is the Star Wars shit. Yeah, this is Star Wars shit. Okay. We better be ship battling and having PvP modes of battle royale, jumping on ships, extraction. Like that has to be in part of Renegades, bro. It cannot be anything less.
Okay.
It can't be nothing less,
Robbie,
man.
What did we just see?
Yeah, so that's Renegades.
I'm gonna crash out if this is not it, bro. If this is not the change in Destiny.
Drive it home here. Renegades is a one-of-a-kind Destiny.
It has to be.
Right? And just like we on the Destiny team have taken inspiration
Space battles with
from
ships,
genres like dark fantasy or cosmic horror,
extraction mode, survival mode, battle royale mode, or something like that, bro.
Star Wars, and it puts it through that Destiny lens, and ultimately it's created a new lawless frontier that is emerging.
Dark zone.
So, like,
We can battle people in the social realm.
Today.
Has to be. This is what Destiny should have been from the beginning. It has to be, bro. Y'all can't.
We're focused on Rite of the Nine and what's right around the corner with.
Has to be that, bro. It has to be.
A lot of calendars get marked just now on September, but no, super excited to share more of that in the future. But that actually leads us to the conclusion of today's show.
If it's not that, I'm crashing out. I'm not gonna play this. I'm probably not gonna play this next Destiny season just because of that. I have to see what Renegades is gonna be. If Renegades is gonna be that, I will come back to play Destiny. I'll probably end up playing it anyway.
On July 15th, and this kicks off a
But
brand new
like, it just has to be that, bro. Like, I'm just so sick of this.
The first expansion,
Destiny's just been a fucking sandwich, bro. It's been a freaking cheese sandwich, bro. And all they do is put mayonnaise and lettuce on it every couple years. And they don't ever say, oh, maybe we need to make a grinder or a pizza or something. Like, they don't ever do that, bro. The only time they did that was the Forsaken.
Regulations, all that kind of stuff for our raid race.
And Witch Queen, that's it. Everything else has been trash.
World first title. And yeah, I mean, just stay tuned for more details. We're not going to spoil anything. It's a raid. We got to keep it secret.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everybody mark your calendars.
Yeah, Bungie.net is the place to go ahead and learn more. And again, follow our social media channels. Do us all a favor. So in addition to that, again, as we noted, Ashen Iron, our first free major update, will be launching on September 9th. Renegades, very exciting, will be launching in December. And then keep an eye again on our social channels. We'll provide all the updates once they're available. But as far as today goes, the Edge of Fate and the entire Year of Prophecy pre-orders are available starting right now. Now, pre-ordering for starters, the Ultimate Edition will go ahead and unlock the New Land Beyond.
New Land Beyond, that exotic sniper.
Ooh, I can't wait, man. I can't wait, same, honestly. That'll be unlockable in addition to several other goodies. And also, we've also got a collector's edition that'll be available.
Holy
you can see
shit.
here on screen, it will be coming with an awful lot of very cool stuff, including this cool statue that you may have noticed here that's been sitting with us on stage. This is one that you can go ahead and add to your collection as well.
We don't care about that.
That's not all that's in there. Is there, Allison?
We got the writing team got a little excited on this one. We put a lot of lore goodies into to this collector's edition. So like that weird metal thing, that weird envelope, boy, weird. Wonder what's up with that.
Just decorative
You should
points?
probably read it. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do a dramatic reading as soon as
we should go downstairs immediately after this.
Really
right after this.
Count me in. And then again, too, as far as today goes, Rite of the Nine. This is the essential prologue to the Edge of Fate, and like all of our events moving forward, is going to be a free to all players. So make sure and go ahead and check that out when that arrives. And before the show wraps up, make sure and stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to be rating our good friend Sammy Cat as well. So go ahead and give her a follow. Tell her we said hello in chat. Pardon me. If you have any Twitch Prime subs or anything like that, go ahead and do us a favor. Drop it over there and check out her stream. She's going to be having a good time. But that concludes it for us here today. So for starters, huge thanks to my teammates here for joining me.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Listen here. Destiny, Bungie, whoever's left of Bungie that really cares about gaming, bro. We have been supporting y'all, buying y'all shit for over a decade now. Y'all let us down with Destiny 1. When y'all fired that director, the story guy, when y'all fired him and he fucking NDA'd and took his story, and y'all couldn't use it, and then y'all had to scramble to make some bullshit ass story with a barren game, and we had to wait for DLCs months and months into the game. Y'all fucked us then, alright? And then y'all started to come back and try to make things better, and there was a lot of bad DLCs. I'm talking about the Wolf or whatever the first one was. That shit was trash. All of them were trash. And then it started getting good. Then we get Destiny 2, and then y'all launched it with bullshit. Y'all launched it with the horrible classes. It was a good story, but the systems were bad. Everything felt bad in the game. Comped and all that stuff was trash, bro. It was trash, dog. The double primary, that shit was trash, bro. Everything was ass. It was garbage. And it took years for y'all to make the game better, bro. And then now we are in this sequence of what should be Destiny 3. But we're just staying on Destiny 2. Y'all are putting our hardware to the maximum capacity because of all of the data, memory, and stuff that we have to get. Y'all don't... The system of the game never improved. The engine of the game is never improved. It never changes, so there's never a different feel to Destiny. You guys keep the same color palettes, the same shapes, the same look and aesthetic to the game, and it never changes. I don't understand that. Like we just don't do anything different, right? We don't do anything different with the game at all, right? So now we're into a whole new decade of this game, and I just always has been a component of that this game needs a battle royale game mode. I'm really happy that you guys brought in the vehicle PvP game mode. That's fun. That is something different for people to do. So like now people don't have to go into the Crucible being sweaty. They can play that. But then also people could have played a battle royale mode of Destiny, and y'all could have used that to do the Golden Age stuff and to give us Golden Age lore and characters and things, the way that we could just relive the stories and play as these characters that we read about and we never see, right? Or an extraction mode to where it could have been, hey, you could have pulled in a lot of the people from Tarkov, and yeah, you're making Marathon. You could have just made that in Destiny, man. Or like you could have just made that in Destiny. Marathon could have just been Destiny. You could have named it Destiny Renegade. It could have just been Destiny. Right? And it could have just been a separate game. Or it could have been tied in some way. It could have been a separate game, but your accounts would have been linked or whatever. And y'all would have been able to make profit off of Destiny, multiple Destiny franchises at once. Right? And then you could have just made it to where it's just like, oh shit, loot that you get in Renegade, you can bring it over into Destiny and use it. Right? That could have been the thing. To where y'all can just do your own thing and y'all could be a lot more freer with the weapons and the way things look and the aesthetic of the game over there in the extraction game. And then when you bring it over into Destiny 1, your character has a completely different look and it looks like an alien because everybody else looks one way in Destiny, but then you have the stuff coming from Marathon Destiny, Extraction Shooter Destiny that looks completely different, and it makes people want to go play the other game, and then you're bouncing in between both games, right? That could have been a thing. But if we do not get a survival mode, a BR mode, an extraction mode, or aerial combat with ships, and you guys are using Star Wars' IP, their likeness, and all of these things, if we don't have any of those things, I'm gonna crash out. I will never support this game again. I won't support this game again. I'm not buying. Unless this new expansion is just so great and everybody says it's so great and I have to get it, I'm not buying it. Renegade is going to be my point to where it determines if I buy something else in this game or not. I don't have this game downloaded. I deleted it over a year ago. I haven't touched Destiny in so long, and it's sad because Destiny is like one of my all-time favorite games. But the problem is that there's no innovation with Destiny ever. Like Destiny is just a cookie. That's it. You can't do anything with a cookie. And that's the problem. You guys just try to take chocolate chips and put it on a cookie, or M&M and put it on a cookie, and at the end of the day, the cookie is only so big. Y'all need to like redo the game. Renegade has to be something else. It can't be another cookie. It has to be a cake. It has to be something. It has to be a dinner. Right? We have to change everything. Destiny is supposed to be a roguelike experiment situation. Why? Because that was the lore and the story of Destiny before the game came out. Us being hunters, us being in a group, a wolf pack. We were supposed to go out into the world, find loot, safely make it back to the tower, and bring our loot back. The danger of going outside of the tower was to get killed and lose your loot to other players, other guardians, or people that weren't guardians were, on other things. It wasn't just the bad characters that are in the game, the Hive, and all the other things. No, there were supposed to be guardians that were supposed to be bad. Destiny was supposed to be an extraction shooter, pretty much, or a Dark Zone type game like The Division, and they lost all of that. And I know if you go back and read the lore from 2012 and all that other stuff when the game was first announced and we've seen everything and all this other stuff, that was how Destiny was supposed to play. You play with your team, or you play as a loner, or you just play as the bad guys and you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z. That was the lore in Destiny, man. And I just don't like that it's over 10 years later and we don't have anything resembling that. We don't have any game mode resembling that. Any game mode with any type of griefing, battling each other, anything besides PvP. And it shouldn't be like that. We should have, hey, we're going into this new Star Wars era. There definitely should be PvP enabled areas. Those areas should be where most of the events happen, most of the best loot happens, where you can find the tier 5 loot, the exotics, all that. That's where it should live. Why? Because you need to add in some type of incentive and some type of feeling into the game besides just doing raids, because that's the only time people feel emotions in Destiny is when they're playing this story the first time, when they're doing everything is when they're doing something the first time. And it's never all the time. And that's the problem with Destiny. But if you add areas like that, you always are going to have some type of emotion, whether it's a good emotion or a bad emotion. You're going to have some emotion. Now, I don't think that we're going to have it to where we lose all our loot. But let's say the loot that you get when you're there, if you die in there, you get looted. So if you find some good weapons, all this other stuff, and you don't get off the planet in time, and no, you should not be able to press that button and just go back to orbit. Yeah, you have to extract. You have to get out of the PvP enabled areas. X, Y, and Z. Like we should have something like that, man. And I really hope that Destiny really just stop being scared and go ahead and do something, because that's what I really want in Destiny. I would have loved for Marathon to be Destiny. Like that just would have been great. Just don't understand why it's just not that. Like it should have been that. But I digress. But anyway, That was my reaction to the new Destiny reveal. Nothing special to me. I didn't see nothing special. Nothing that really got me going. There's no new supers. That bullshit arc ball thing is just lazy and slop. Um, None of the weapons look great. I mean, Marathon looks better than Destiny at this point, honestly, and it's sad to say that. I have more interest in Marathon, and I'm not an extraction shooter person, but I have more interest in Marathon and just the aesthetic looking different than Destiny. Renegades look like they're going to be changing some things, but we'll have to see, man, because if we don't get something better and new, I don't know about Destiny, man. It's just really just been underachieving for so long, and I want to play Destiny. I hope it gets better, but we'll see. But anyway, that was my reaction to Destiny. I'm more excited for Marathon. It is what it is.